Paul's new group, Wings, are on their first full-scale tour of Britain at the moment, and as you might expect, they're playing to packed houses at every stop. Wings, of course, are the group that have caused all the comment about the part played by Paul's American wife, Linda, but the critics have been raving about them. Well, the group have just recently been touring Yorkshire and the North, and I met them to discuss the new McCartney music.
Beatles splitting up, I found myself minus a band. And that was the real thing for me, it's just, I've been in a band all this time. It's pretty much the same for Denny, because he'd been in and out of bands, in the Moody Blues and stuff. And so we all just came together and thought, well, let's get a band, that actually goes and does it, rather than kind of doing special concerts here and keeping very kind of superstar about it all. Let's just go out and let's just go and play for the people. If they don't like us, we'll know soon enough, So we turned up, we did our first university tour, which was, we didn't tell any press or anybody, because we were pretty green, we were pretty untogether as a band. But we went and did it, and just because of the surprise value and the whole kind of thing, people said, hey, great, love it, we charge 50p on the door. Just one of them, we just turn up and do it, And that went down great. Then we did a European tour to get oiled in a little bit more, and this is our first kind of serious tour. I think, it's handy to play live. I think if you don't play live, you get a little bit sterile working in the studio all the time. It's a little bit just like working in a laboratory. And when you get out, it's like working in the field kind of thing, You get so you're playing to people and people are reacting to you. Otherwise, I think you tend to take a bit too much notice of newspapers and things like that, And the people, if they clap loud, then it's the easiest way of knowing you're going down great.
Because it was quite a long time since you appeared on stage live. Was it a bit of a shock for you? Were you a bit nervous?
Oh yes, like that. Just like that. Yeah.
In fact, it is very much a family affair, isn't it, with Linda in the group as well?
I thought, well, people are going to say it's crazy, what's he doing getting his wife in the group? But we thought, well, too bad about what people say, I thought,
that's good, isn't it?
Well, people thought the name Beatles was crazy.
Paul, can we talk about now the new James Bond theme song that you've heard? How did this one come about?
Well, I was asked to do Diamonds Are Forever, but then some little thing came up where someone else had been asked, like on films, those kind of things happen. Then Live and Let Die came up, and the same fellow rang me back and he said, do you fancy doing this one? I said, well, send me the book around and I'll think about it. So he sent me the book, I read the book, and there were some great things in it. It was a very black movie, there's a lot of blackness in it, a lot of the villains are all kind of, it's a black villain organisation. So that was great because I could get kind of a bit of a soul-y feel in it, and lots of congas and stuff in Harlem. And then there was a bit that took place in Jamaica, and we like reggae a lot, so I could get a little bit of reggae in there. So I kind of read the book that day, and then the next day I wrote the song. And then I held off for a few months, just playing hard to get, so I don't want them to think I'll just knock it off, So then we went in with the band, and George Martin, who produced the record, and we just did it. Live and Let Die, at your local cinema, coming soon. Writing, I don't find it very difficult. In fact, to name drop just a little, and place drop, we were on holiday in Jamaica, and we met with Dustin Hoffman, who's making a film out there, and we went around and had an evening with them, and we were talking just about this, and he was saying, I can't understand, how you can just write a song, I said, well, it's easy, if you're just sitting around smashed or enjoying yourself or whatever, just sitting around, you can suddenly kind of get a great idea, and it comes out of the air, and you just put it down. And he said, you've got to have a copy of Newsweek or something. He said, these are the last words that Picasso said the night before he died. So he was showing me these words, and he says, turns out that Picasso he was sitting around with his friends at dinner, and he said, drink to me, drink to my health. I can't drink anymore, because his doctors had told him not to drink. And Dustin thought this was very kind of poetic, so I was strumming on the guitar. So I just went, drink to me, drink to my health, you know I can't drink anymore. And he's going, hey man, I can't believe it. He's calling his wife, hey, come in, he tingles on his backbone. And it was fantastic, But that's it, if you've got something nice to work off, you've got an idea in your head and you're a bit musical, I reckon it's dead easy to write. That great period just before you fall off to sleep, when you often have all kind of great ideas. Oh, thank you, David.
Thank you, Robert.
Ladies and gentlemen, nationwide, this is David with
Having cold work.
He's not actually a waiter, but yeah.
Hey, Clark.
I was saying another good time for kind of dreaming of songs is just before you go to sleep. You probably know that yourself, you're just thinking, you get all great ideas and everything. Well, with songs it's the same, and then if you sleep on it and then kind of get out of bed the next morning, if you're going good, all the ideas are kind of congealed into a song.
But most of us forget our great ideas we have late at night. I had a great question which I thought of last night in bed, but you say I can't remember them the following morning.
Oh, well, that's the trick. That's the difference, you see. You've got to remember.
I've even tried writing it down, but the following morning you can't sort of read what you've written down because you were so tired when you were writing it.
Yeah, well, I remember writing a song which never got finished, but I did just that, kind of wrote it, and I used to learn how to write with the light off and everything. Because you write there, I just did that, just the next morning, just got a bit of paper.
It's all down the side.
It's all sideways all down, but it's there, it's a song.